guys, welcome back to my sewing corner. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you're very much welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this video, and do not forget to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please click on that red subscribe button and turn on the bell to get notifications every time I upload videos. Okay, so without wasting time, today's tutorial is going to be an illustration video. Okay, and I'm just going to be illustrating the dress you can see over there. Okay, I'm just going to be illustrating how to make that dress, and I'm going to be sharing with us the measurements we need, the name of the material to use, and everything you know to just sew this dress, to make this dress. Okay, so stay tuned and watch to the end, and like this video, share with your friends. So let's just go straight to business. The measurements you will need: half length, then you need your gown length. So because this dress has a bodice and a skirt, so when you measure your gown length, you're going to subtract your half length from it to get your skirt length. Okay, then you need your nipple to nipple for that. You need your 3/4 sleeve length. You need your round sleeve measurements. So you need your bicep, and this is the biggest part of the widest part of your arm. Okay, you need your arm hole. You need your round sleeve at the elbow, since it's a 3/4 sleeve. Okay, then you need your peplum length, and I recommend that you use 8 to 9 inches for your peplum length. Because of the way the dress is, you can see that it's not too long, and I've already included the allowance you need for it. So from 8 to 9 inches is okay. All the allowances, by the time you're done sewing everything, you should be left with 7 to 8 inches, which is moderate for this dress. Okay, so then you need your bust circumference, your waist circumference, your hip circumference, and that is all for the measurement that you need for this dress. Okay, now let's talk about the material that you can use for this dress. Now I had already sewn this dress for a client of mine, but it's been long. In fact, I had not even started posting on YouTube then. Okay, so I would have vlogged it to show you the material I used to sew the exact dress for her. So this is the material I used. It's called poly material. As you can see, it has stretch, it's stretchy. So this is called poly material, and it's very light. It's not scuba, it is not there's thick poly, but this is the light poly, as you can see. So if you got the thick poly, you can use it as well, but do not use scuba for it. It won't work for the style. Okay, so now also you will need your net for the upper part of the dress. Okay, you know the upper part has net lined with lycra material. So if you don't want to use net, you can look for this kind of material. I want to use this material. You can see that this one is not transparent, doesn't have holes. Okay, so if you don't want to use net, you can go for this kind of material. It still has design around it. So if you go to the market and tell them you want something tell them you want a material with designs, the stretchy material will help you get something like this, if not this one. Okay, so I don't know the exact name they call the designs, but this is just a lycra material that has design on it. Okay, so, and this is the net that I use for my client. Okay, so as you can see, I've already lined this one because I had to buy extra for some other clients. Okay, but not the same style, so that is why I can't be showing you in this video. It's not the same style. So this is what the net looks like, as you can see, and it's transparent. I don't know if you can see, but this is the lining. You can see that I have a lining at the back. So this is what we call lycra lining. So for the poly material, if you want to sew it, you need to get 1 yard of fabric for it, and for the net material, you get 1.5 yards. 1 yard for the skirt and the band on the 3/4 sleeve, and also a little bit of design will do. 1 yard will do for that because it comes in double length. It's by 60, so it will do for that. And for this one, 1.5 yards will do. You know, it's a peplum. Although it's 180-degree peplum, it will not consume a lot of your fabric. So if you want to get the best of it, just get 1.5 yards of the net material. The same thing for your lining. Get the same yard you got for your fabric for your lining. You don't have to line this one. So the reason you're using the lycra lining is because the net is stretchy. So I have to look for a stretchy net. As you can see the way I'm pulling it is stretchy. So I have to look for a lycra. Although this lycra is more stretch than the net itself, but I had to find a way around it. So because you may not be able to get the exact material or lining that has the same stretch as this, except you want to get something that does not even have any stretch at all, which will not do. Okay, so you can still manage the lycra lining. It's just a lycra material that is very light. Okay, so for the lining of the net, or just go for this kind of material that does not even have holes. Okay, so this one will save you the cost of buying lining, sewing this or sewing that one. So you can just go for this one if you have it. So without wasting time, let's now dissect this our dress. You know, the dress has bodice, it has skirts, and it has peplum. Okay, now the bodice is just the normal bodice that we draft. Okay, if you have not seen my video on how to draft and cut and even sew a basic bodice, check my YouTube channel, check my Facebook page, videos are there. Okay, at AmazingSewingCorner. Okay, now the neckline, the front neckline is a U neckline, and the depth should be around 4 to 5 inches for the neck depth. For the neck width should be around 4 inches. It's not too wide. Okay, for this dress you can see on the screen. Okay, for the back you're going to use the same neck width, which is 4 inches. The depth you're going to use from 1 to 1.5 inches, so that it's not too deep. You know, from the what you can even see, it's a corporate wear. You're not no exposure. Okay, so like I said earlier, your peplum length should be 8 to 9 inches plus the allowance. Everything is covered. Okay, so all you need to do is to draft, like earlier I said, your gown length. You're going to subtract your half length from your gown length to get your skirt length for this dress. Okay, so you just draft your basic skirt. I have a tutorial on that, please watch it. And then you draft your basic bodice and you draft your 3/4 sleeve. I have videos on all of this, but the one I don't have video on is the peplum, and that is what I'm going to be drafting in this video. So this peplum is a first thing first, is a 180-degree peplum. Remember, we have different types of peplum. We have 360, we have 720-degree, we have 1080, and we have 1440-degree peplum. It all depends on the fabric you have, but this design that we have here is a 180-degree. If you want to get this exact design, just go for a 180-degree peplum, and I'm going to illustrate how this was done. Okay, so now you have your fabric. This is my own fabric here, it's my pattern paper. Okay, so I'm going to take it as my fabric. You fold it like so into 2. You know, unlike the 360 where you fold into 4, you just fold for 180. You just fold into 2 like so. And the measurement you need for your peplum, like I said, you need your peplum length and you need your waist circumference for your peplum. Okay, so you need your waist circumference plus the allowance you need to turn. You can see that the back peplum has a bit of slit. Okay, because the zip did not go through the peplum, it just went from the bodice to the skirt, so the peplum had to give space for the zip. Okay, so you need the allowance to turn that part in, okay, so that you don't have rough edges. So you can give from 1 to 2 inches allowance for that. So let's just say we're giving 2 inches for that. So let's say if your normal waist circumference is 36, so you're going to give it 2 inches for this one. Then for the front bodies, by the time you turn it in, you're going to cut out the curve and everything. You turn everything in, so you need another 2 inches for that. So that means you'll be left to total you have 40 inches. Okay, so now to cut your peplum, you're going to divide this, because you have folded your fabric into 2. You're going to divide your measurement into 2 as well. Okay, and you place your tape roll such a way that it will form. I have a video on how to cut the peplum. If you have not seen that, please check it out. You place your tape roll in form of a cone. The reason we do that is because if you have to just say, okay, I want to look for where I can get the 10 inches like this, I want to just straight like this, it is not going to be equal, because this is can you see now, see the way the cone is, this side is longer than this side. So you want to make sure that you also follow it by placing it in form of a cone. That way you'll be able to make both sides equal. Okay, so you place it like this and you mark out where your measurement is. So I may not be working with that because my paper is small, but I'm just going to illustrate how to get it. So this is what I want for this peplum. Then after marking those 2 points, you have to cross check to be sure that they are equal. If not, you make adjustments where necessary. So here I have 6.5. I have to cross check to be sure I have the same thing here. Okay, I do not have the same thing here, so I'll mark 6.5 here and see what that will give me, if it's going to be okay with my waist measurements. Okay, so if it's okay, I'll just mark the midpoint and I'll connect the lines. Okay, I'll connect the lines. You just connect it until you get that curved or cone shape, okay, so that you can cut. Okay, make sure your hand is curved because it's not a straight joining. Okay, so from that point you're going to mark the length of your peplum, but so that I can get the best of this, I want to actually make this place wide since I have paper, so that I can be left with something like this for the remaining length of the peplum. Okay, so I'm just going to alter this one. So I came down by 2 inches. I'm just going to come down by 2 inches round. Okay, just to make it a bit wider. You know, I'm using paper so that we can get the best of the tutorial. Okay, so this is going to be our new circumference. I hope you understand why I did this. Okay, so this is going to be the new width of our peplum. Okay, so from here you're going to measure the length that you want. So like I said, you use 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 inches, so that by the time you're done sewing, turn everything, you'll be left with 7 to 8 inches depending on your client. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that I'm using 3.5 here. Okay, 3.5. You measure it around as well. Hope I'm not obstructing you. And you connect. Make sure your hand is curved. Don't mind me. Make sure your hand is as curved as possible. You can make the points more instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. You can mark point as many as you want, so that way you get the best of it. So let's just cut it out. So while cutting, to make sure your hand is curved. Sorry. Okay. Now also cut the peplum length. These of the peplum. Okay, so this is what my peplum is. And now remember I said here that we gave 2 inches allowance for the back. I'm going to assume this is my 2 inches and I'll fold it in like this. So what you need to do, if you're going to put like, let's say fold this in, I'll explain what to do. So this other side too, I'm going to fold it 2 inches. So that means 1 inch here, 1 inch here. Sorry. So this is going to be at the back of our dress. Okay, like so. It's going to be at the back of our dress. This is the way your peplum will look like. Okay, let me just quickly staple this together so that you can get the best of it. Okay, so that's going to be the back of my peplum. Okay, as you can see, this folded part is the center front, and you can see it's meeting at the center of the back. Now, what do you do next? See, there's no joining here, there's no joining here. Take note of that. Now let's go ahead and give the curve that we have over there. So it's optional. You can decide to put your curve at this side or this side. Make sure you check it before drafting. Okay, so what you're going to do is just to mark out where your dart falls on your bodice on this peplum. Just mark it out. So from the center front, let's see, this is where my dart is. Okay, so you come here, dividing this center front, dividing it into half again, like half of this width. Okay, from this side to the center front. So from that point, you start giving it a curved shape up to the dart point. Can you see? Let me explain. So you come to, you divide. No, this is half of the front, but this is another half of the front peplum. So this first half divide into 2. So just assume this is where the half will be. So from that point, you start curving up to this dart point. Okay. Now, then remember we've given allowance for sewing and everything. Remember we gave this extra 2 inches, so don't worry about that. Now I don't want this place to be too sharp because it's too curved for me. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it like this. So I'm going to cut this one out. So it's not going to be part of my peplum. So when you're cutting, don't cut with the back. Just take note of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and curve it and cut it in a curvy way. Okay. Okay, so then I'll cut this other side as well. so that I can reduce the sharpness over there. Okay, so this is what I have, and you can see that it's similar to what we have displayed on the screen. You can see. So this is what you get. This is what you get for your peplum. So how do you sew? You sew your skirts, you sew your bodice to your skirts. Of course, you would have sewn your sleeve to it, and because it's a gown, you're going to zip down. You start sewing from this side. So you sew, placing the right side of the peplum on the right side of the dress, and then you sew all around and make sure that your center bodice meets with the center of this your peplum, and this is what you have. So because you use the net material for this peplum, so you make sure you line both this side and this side. So you line both of them, and after lining this one, remember this is the one that has the design under it. Check it there, you see. So you can use maybe like 1 inch or 1.5 inch unfold bias strip of your fabric to just give it a design here, sort of a band. Okay, just fold it, and then just like the way you did for a sleeve, just that the length will reduce. Okay, and then you sew it around after putting the lining. Okay, because it's net. Okay, so after lining it, then you put it so that you can give it the design there. So I'm also for the waist, if you want to put a belt, go ahead and put a belt. If you want to design with the fabric, with the skirt material, you can go ahead and do that, and you get the best of it. So with this, I've come to the end of this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God be with you.